One Piece chapter 951, the hype is real. Now this chapter was great because of the insane setup we had at the end of this chapter, which I will get back to. But apart from that, everything else was pretty good. As you guys know from my previous chapter review, I said that I didn't really want to see much from Udon because everything there is pretty much done with since Luffy and the others took over, and them having no one else that can go up against them. I think with this chapter, Oda answered our prayers because there's a lot of things in motions and these things are super hype. I think this is the moment we've been waiting for since the Reverie. But let's start from the beginning. Now we start off with how things are playing out in the capital. Orochi's pretty much pissed about the Straw Hats actions during Yasuo's execution, and so he set out bounty posters for them throughout the town, which pretty much makes things harder for the Alliance to hide themselves because the Oniwa Banshu and the Samurai Police Force are roaming the capital. Now interestingly, Beppo and Sachi escaped the prison thanks to Law's condition with Hawkins, and it was kind of hinted that Hawkins knew that Law was stronger than him, which I find interesting because he said he felt intimidated and that Law was gonna kill him if his crew died or not. Now it makes sense because Hawkins had used tricks to capture Law in the first place, and he then goes on to say that Law is a person who doesn't take the future into account. I think that's what made him scared, which probably hints towards him using his cards to see what action is better for him, because he probably used his cards and saw his chance of survival if he killed Law's crew, which is probably a low chance. Now Law also told his crew that they shouldn't tell the Straw Hats about him getting captured. Now this reminded me of what Kid did in the last chapter. People need to remember that Law is a captain of his own, and I think this shows that not only does he have a plan to escape, maybe with Drake, but he wants to get out of his problems by himself. Perhaps he was reminiscent of Dressrosa and how things went with him in Doflamingo and him needing help from Luffy in their battle, which was pretty much a personal grudge. So I think here he's not trying to involve anyone into his problems. He's going to get out of his problems by himself, and he probably knows that if Luffy knew about it, Luffy would try to rescue him, which might make things harder than it is. So I like where this is going with Law. Till the battle at Onigashima starts, I think Law and Kid are probably going to do something major. Again, I love the supernova interactions. This was probably one of my favorite parts in the chapter. We finally move on to Onigashima. Obviously this is the highlight of the chapter. Now we get to see Big Mom again. Now I'm glad they didn't show any intermission of how Queen got to Onigashima, because there was a big idea in the community where people thought the Big Mom pirates was gonna save Big Mom, but that didn't happen, which I'm glad about because that would have just prolonged this inevitable meeting that should happen. Though I do think the Big Mom pirates are definitely going to play a role later on. Not sure when, but they definitely will. Now all three calamities are also present here, so you know it's a big deal when all three are present. And it is a big deal because Kaido and Big Mom are also present. Two Yonkos are present here. Big Mom starts a conversation with King, and she basically tells him to join her crew, because he's supposedly one of the only 3 races that Big Mom doesn't have in her family. So he's basically a rare race in the One Piece world. Now we don't actually know what King looks like because he has a mask on, but the fact that he also has wings was weird ever since his introduction, and the fire coming out of his body was weird as well. Again, there's a lot of comparison between him and Magellan because Magellan also had wings, but his wings actually look bigger and they look real. Usually one would think that he's one of those sky people like Rouge, but his wings are supposedly black, and Big Mom's statement hints towards him being the last of his race. So this guy is already special. You know, first mates always have that extra portrayal more so than any other commander. So King is looking kind of hype right now, and I cannot wait to see this man in action. And the moment we've all been waiting for, Big Mom and Kaido, and they had this Yonko level clash just like Whitebeard and Shanks back when they met. Now obviously they're not gonna fight. The clash is pretty much how the Yonkos greet each other. So we're probably gonna have a conversation between Big Mom and Kaido. I think they're gonna expand on 2 things that has been teased for the longest: the debt Kaido owes Big Mom, and the Rock Pirates, or the Lurking Legend, if they're the same thing. If we don't move away from there, at least I think we're gonna get a good amount of info dump with Big Mom and Kaido, so that's gonna be amazing. But 2 Yonkos meeting up is hype. I think everybody felt the same way when Whitebeard and Shanks met, you know, pre-time skip. But overall, this was a great chapter. Big setups on multiple sides. Law doing his own thing, and you know, Big Mom and Kaido. But we are on break. Not Oda taking his break, but Jump taking a break this week. So the next chapter is in 2 weeks. But I think we have enough time to talk about what's gonna happen, I guess. So yeah, again, just my quick thoughts on this chapter. Comment down below what you guys think, like the video if you liked it, and subscribe for more One Piece content on this channel. It is Pharaoh, and I will see you guys later. Peace.